Hello, boys and girls. This is your boy D. Sorry for the late review, y'all. I haven't reviewed Queen Sugar in a minute last week. I've been busy with working and everything. But anyway, guys, this is your boy D giving you this week's episode of Queen Sugar, episode 9. I'm going to share the tear, man. Next week is the finale. Woo. Woo. But y'all, this week's episode does not disappoint. It's another one. And let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. Let's talk about Blue. We found in last week's episode. I didn't do last week's review, so I'm just gonna kind of like, talk about the last week's episode, kind of just throw it in there, y'all. Last week's finale episode before that, Blue was accepted to some fancy schools in DC. Dolly's mother called, said Blue got to pull some strings, got her into the school, got him to the school because of what happened with the pandemic, and they needed to fill some quarter. Blue is smart. The kid's smart like a mother. Kid knew it, knew algebra, smart as a whip. I remember his like one of the previous seasons. He didn't develop that kind of intelligence. He was really sweet, very easy. You know what I'm saying? He was playing dolls. He played Kenya. And then this is real. Like this season, this like accelerated growth. His growth like got him to be like mature. I was like, okay, Blue, you mature, man, smart. I said, wow, okay, smart as a rip. I was like, I know he's smart. We all know he's smart, right? So he going. So they accepted. I can't even talk, y'all, but Darlene pulled some strings and got him into school. Darla doesn't like it, so rather than talking to Rob Angel, she goes and talks to Alpha 5. That was a bad move. You know how? And she told at Alpha 5, she talks to Alpha 5 saying, hey, Dolly, wants to send Blue to this school in DC, and Alpha 5's like, he's not going anywhere. Why would she do that? And this and that, she's carrying on saying Blue needs to be here. He needs to be raised here. I don't know why we have to keep sending our kids to another school and this and that. And then she said, well, Ralph Angel was, considering me too. Oh, Ralph Angel? Oh, I'm going to talk to him. I said, oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Messy, messy, messy. Right? Very messy. And Hollywood is like, hey. That's, see, you need to stay out of it on Fly. You need to stay out of it, Fly. And Fly says, I can't stay out of this one. I raised these kids. I raised these children. I raised Blue. And then she got a point. She did raise Blue, right? When Vivacia was in the jail, in our jail, and Darla was in the, she was strung out on drugs. Aunt Five was the one that had to really be the mama and the daddy for Blue. Had to be there for Blue. Wipe his butt and all that. Make sure he's okay. Stay with him. I mean, the only thing Dolly said was, hey, I gave money too. I gave money because she called Darlene, right? She called Darlene like, hey, what you doing? And Darlene said, hey, I just want to give Blue the opportunity, give him chances to grow and all that. And Aunt Five was like, I'm not with it. He's not going, right? He is not going. Aunt Five was like the mama, he is not going. That's my child. And Darla was like, Aunt Five, you did great ways to Blue, but it's not your child, Blue. It's not your child. You're not the parent. No due respect. I did a lot. So Aunt Five didn't like that. And Darla said, hey, I did a lot too. I said money too. Okay, you said money too. But you wasn't there for Blue. You wasn't there for Blue. I was there. I held it down. So she held it down. I was like, Alpha got a point. I was like, yeah, Alpha, you right, Boo. You coming at the wrong way, but you right though. But you are correct. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, Howard, he's thinking something's really wrong. Obviously, there's more than Blue. I think Father's upset, because with Jimmy Jill, I think she wanted to have a child, and maybe Jimmy Jill caused her to have a miscarriage, and because of the pain, she hasn't properly grieved. So she's trying to use Blue to be kind of be like a parent. I don't know how to explain it, but you can tell she definitely needs some therapy. She definitely needs some counseling. She didn't know how to grieve, and that's another thing with Black folks. We don't know how to grieve. We don't seek mental help, right? I'll say the older generations, because the newer generation now, I see we've been going to therapy, we've been going to help. I know I've been going to therapy because I know I messed up. I'm a messed up individual. I got messed up childhood. I can go on and on, but it's not about this. You don't care about that, and I get that. I'm a firm believer getting your spirit, getting your mental health to be strong, because you don't have that, you won't able to function. As the saying goes, health is wealth. It's not just take care of your body, it's take care of your mind and your soul. Woo! I could go on, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. All right. So, Hollywood wants to, says, if you really talk, you could talk. At one point, Hollywood was rubbing on the feet, and she was like, what do you want to talk about with what's going on with you and Darla, and with Blue going to that school, and Howard, and me on fire grabbed that foot like, get out of here, you weren't touching it. So, clearly something's with that. Something's going on. Something's, yes. And as we continue that train of thought, at one point, Ralph Angel and Darla have this heart-to-heart talk. Darla also want to send him to school. Ralph Angel said he didn't want to either, because, they thought that, Blue could be with each other, with them, because they don't want to send Blue away. It could be a family. You could find some other schools in St. Joe's. So it appeared, right, that he ain't going to the school, right? That was last week's episode. That was episode 8. Fast forward, episode 9. Ralph Angel is still, he's calling, everybody get import, which he calls Nova. I just say Nova looks great in the little, look great in the workout gear, going on the treadmill, talking about she trying to lose his weight, gain his weight. I'm like, Nova, stop it, Nova. You ain't gaining no weight, but I understand. I know you gotta make a point. You know what I'm saying? Most women, I don't know, most women be like, kill to have Nova's body. You know what I'm saying? Come on, I gained some weight. I'm sick. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say, I see you. But anyway, that's not the point. He called Nova to see what's going on, wherever she shouldn't. He was thinking about sending Blue to the school, trying to find more about the school. And, she said something about the school only accepted him because, it's gifted, because he's gifted. And Rob said, well, because he's Black? He said, no, but the white kids who went to school didn't have to do extra work. It's like, we the Black people have to go extra hurdles. The white person was kind of like, nigga, I'm all white. White privilege. Don't even know it. I got the white privilege. Ding! So then he calls Micah about the same thing. Micah said, that's a great school, because they have opportunities, blah, blah, blah. But Robin said, you went to HBCU. Yeah, but I had choices because I went to private school, so I had opportunity to make those choices. So everything's good or bad. So he's basically getting all different opinions, right? And then there was one, and then who called? On 5 call Ralph Angel about saying he shouldn't go to school. He don't need to go nowhere, and this and that. And she gets an example about how this one girl, she worked at worked in the same here, worked at the grocery clerk, and she's a store manager, manager training program. I was like, oh God, that's the worst example. And I have nothing wrong with people, working in the store, being a man and being trained to be a manager. I'm not disrespecting her. I mean, but it was like, if you try to make that argument on 5, I'm like, on 5, baby, you need to stop, boo. You need to stop, baby. Baby, you just need to stop. Anyway, so that's, and there's one seed that, Rob Angel bought the Black Panther, doll to Blue. And it was seen when he says, she said he misses Chad Boseman. He's gone, and Rob Angel says something powerful, like he never dies, his spirit's alive, he lives on, when you're a good person, he lives on. I was like, you better say that, Rob Angel. I miss Chad when he was Black Panther. He did the Wakanda forever. I love that movie. I was like, oh my God. I was like, anyway. And, Robin, Blue says, I don't play with dolls anymore. He puts in a collectible box. I said, Blue don't play with dolls? You don't play with no more dolls? I was like, all right. And then I guess there was one seed he was talking to his friends that Blue was talking to his friends. He wanted to be a farmer. And Rob Angel was like, you don't have to be a farmer. Just like you could do what you want to do. And then we found out Blue really thinks about going to school. And so, you know where this is going, right? I'm kind of going to skip forward. To the end of the episode, they have a Zoom meeting. And then Blue basically makes an announcement and says, hey, I'm going to leave y'all. I'm going to school. And everybody was happy, except Alpha. Alpha had a surprised look on her face. He texts Rob Angel and said, what are you doing? This is that. Your daddy wouldn't be proud. You're screwing it up. I was like, on 5? This is on 5. And Rob Angel, I have to give Rob Angel getting credit. He's trying to be very respectful of the matter. So I don't want to respect you, but you ain't his parent. I said, ooh. I had to catch. If I had to clutch my pearls, if I had pearls, if I could clutch pearls right now, I would clutch them right here. If I had pearls, but I don't have pearls, but I could clutch pearls. I was like, oh, I said, you got a point. You got a point on 5. So, and on 5 was eating. So now let's go to Davis and Charlie. We found out Charlie got the corona. She got the COVID. And who came to her rescue? David West. Who is this David West character? It ain't the same David West I know that cheated on Charlie, had a whole baby, not a half baby, a whole baby, a whole kid in the family. He was dipping and diving and dipping. Everywhere else were all these women. And he comes through, Charlie calls him. He has to break open the lock, and he's telling Charlie the rest, and he's being all attentive to her, talking about, hey baby, you need to call the doctor, you need to get the doctor. And he's making all soup and stuff, and he's making all smoothies, and he didn't put out pineapple because she likes it sweet. And Charlie had to look at how I look too. Like, who is this guy? I had to look too, Charlie. I'm looking at Charlie. I'm talking to Charlie like I'm talking to you guys. Charlie, don't fall for it, girl. Don't you dare fall for it. Now, he's being all attentive, talking about, I'll be there for you. When you love somebody, you show up. I'm looking at him like, who is this dude? That's not David West. That's somebody. That's a clone. That's an imposter right there. That's not David West. That's not him. No, ma'am. No, sir. That is not him. That is not him. That's not him. You know what I'm saying? And Charles trying to figure this out too. And basically, right? At one point, she don't want anybody to know that she got COVID. She's going to hide it. And David Russell said, you should tell Micah so he got a choice, blah, 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 and all this. And David's telling Charlie she needs to relax. You don't have to be here, do everything. You don't have to be a superwoman. Take it easy, have some time for yourself, all this. And I hope, Ava, don't you dare bring them back together. They can be great friends, cool, but don't you dare bring them back together. Charlie, don't fall for it, girl. Don't you dare fall for it. I don't want them back together. I'm sorry. I don't want them back together. They can be great friends, great parents. He don't need to be back together. So that pretty much was that scene, My thing was going to happen, he probably going to get the COVID and he going to die. I don't want him, but somebody has to die. And hey, David, sacrifice has to be made. Davis, you got to go. Moving on, the real scene is with Nova and his boy. I forget the name of the boy, but he had his full scholarship, I think, to a basketball scholarship, something like that. Right? It didn't go well because his friends was trying to do something stupid, did some stupidness, and it didn't work out. The cops came and beat him down. He was begging, please stop, I will do better, this, that, but cops didn't care, whooped him, beat him down. And Nova was trying to get this lead, and she made several calls. And there's one scene, her and Calvin, the picture frame broke. That's significant because that's a very telling scene, right? In the end, the kid, she meets the kid eventually tells the truth what's happening. And he says, I want to tell you who did it. The person you think in your book. And Nova's like, what do you mean the person in the book I think? That's what we came for, right? He says, it's Calvin. I said, ooh, Calvin. Ooh, it's the one that beat the kid and kept beating him. I'm going to say the relationship is done. It's a wrap. It's on pause. It's done. It's done. It's done. His ex-wife ain't so wrong after all. I mean, she's a low-key racist. She's racist, but she was wrong. Ain't wrong about her ex, Calvin, is a dog. I don't know how Calvin gonna explain this one, because he lied, said he just stood there watch, and now we find out he actually was participating. He wasn't get the extra beating in this kid's career. So, and that's how the show ends pretty much. So, I can't wait for the season finale, y'all. It's going to be lit, as they say. Anyway, this is your boy D. If you have not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to the right to be notified on my videos. Anyway, this is your boy D. I am out. Good night, y'all. Peace.